This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We are talking about regrettable tattoos, like getting one chance tattooed on your neck as a tribute to Eminem, even though one chance isn't said in Lose Yourself at all.
Joel Elsey, sales manager of Melbourne Mazda, has got that one.
You are digging. Once you start digging a hole, you don't stop, do you?
Yes.
You just keep-
Well, I've got the shovel in my hand. And the thing about Joel is he says he's got other tattoos around, which he did not tell me what they were.
You want to go back to driving that PT Cruiser that doesn't go?
I'm pretty sure there's one just above his doodle that says Mum Spaghetti.
So
Penne.
we are talking about those tattoos that in the moment seemed like a great idea, and now upon reflection and with the wisdom of age, not so much. We're going to call this person Katie. Hello.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, Katie.
You got
All right.
tattoo regret.
Good morning. Yes, I may have a tattoo I regret.
Yeah.
So back in the 2000s, I don't know if you remember that the Playboy bunny came back.
Playboy
and everyone was
bunny?
getting Playboy. Yes, everyone was getting Playboy bunny seat covers and Playboy bunny, stickers on the back of their car.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be really good to do the next step and get a Playboy bunny tattoo. Not only Playboy tattoo, but in red.
Oh.
Controversial.
Yep,
Where?
red Playboy bunny tattoo.
Where?
Yep.
Where?
No. On my boob.
Don't be
love-
stupid.
yeah,
What a
yeah,
stupid
yeah.
question.
Yeah, where
I
else
thought
would
you
you
were
put
going
it,
with your
Nathan?
I can hide it. I can hide it, but
Yes.
still.
You remember that? And I think that was that, how many years ago was that?
Look, it was about 23 years ago.
About 23
so I was gonna say early
years
2000s.
ago.
So
Okay.
now it's kind of faded and it's red, but
Yes.
it's still there.
Red's a bit aggressive
Yeah.
for a Playboy. It needs to be pink. I think pink's the strong.
Or
Well,
just
I
the
showed
outline.
those people up.
Yeah.
I showed those people up that just got the stickers.
Yeah. No,
I
you did.
showed
Yeah.
those
You totally
people
went
up.
next level.
Well, you were committed.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
weren't.
definitely.
Yeah, you know the difference though, Katie. They could take their seat covers off.
Oh, yeah, probably 23 years ago. Those cards are back in the tip now. So, yeah, very much so.
God,
Thanks,
I
Katie.
remember them selling those seat covers
Yeah.
at super cheap auto.
I know, exactly. Max is in Caramar. Hello.
Good morning.
Hey,
Max.
Maxie. Okay. What's the tattoo?
All right. It wasn't me. It was my dad. So he was the footy coach for our junior footy team throughout the whole of juniors.
Yep.
Took a mid-season sort of trip to Bali. Got a tattoo of two elephants sort of with their trunks sort of kissing in the middle.
Yes.
Just the heads of the elephants as well, no bodies
Not
or
the
anything
body,
like that.
Yeah.
And then came back and this is on his bicep, so very, very visible. When he came back to the footy season, he didn't realise that when he wore the footy T-shirt or any T-shirt, it sort of covered one of the elephants and the trunk.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just the ear was hanging out.
Yes.
And when he was pointing sort of like doing drills or on the ground or something, it looked like the head of a penis hanging out of the T-shirt. And us boys, 12-year-old boys, were absolutely killing ourselves for the next 3 years. So
You got to think about these things,
You've got
don't you?
it. So
If
that's
it's not
another thing
all
to put to the
visible.
list. Do a sleeve test.
Yes. Does
See where it ends. See where it meets.
any of this look like the
tight's
head of
your
a
skin?
penis?
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Good morning, Luke.
Good morning.
Great to
Thanks for
hear your
having me
voice,
on.
Luke.
This is a big gig, Luke. Well done.
Thank you. I am a big comedian. I don't know how to respond to that. I'm so sorry.
No, you just say I'm a big deal.
Yeah,
It's
you're a
what
big
happens when you're a big fish in a small pond. The big gigs come to you, so we get it.
I think it's because I was available, but I appreciate the compliment.
Hang on. All
Everyone's
those other
available 'cause they're in
comedians are
Melbourne.
available. This is the gala, but they asked you to host it.
It is a big deal. I guess I just didn't want to consider how big a deal it was because I think that would make me too nervous to do it, and so I minimised it in my head. But no, it's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I was sort of asked to host back when COVID first hit, and then the whole festival got cancelled.
Yeah.
But so it's nice to be able to do it now that everything's sort of back on, and. It was fun, and I got to wear a green velvet jacket, which is
Okay. That's always a highlight.
normally I only wear those to the gym. So it's
Well, you got to feel like you can do it, though, can't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Luke, or something like this. I was offered years ago. Remember that was a play they wanted me to do that.
Yes.
And it was something about a rabbit.
And you had to, you didn't get to see
Yeah,
the script
no.
until on the night, and then
So-
you just had to perform it and read it for the
Literally
first time.
walk out there with the script and then just perform and read in front of people without ever seeing it. And I was on board for a week, and then I realised because there's a thing called present you and future you, where present you agrees to do something, and then future you wants to bitch slap you when it comes around.
You talk to me about it every day.
Yeah.
How come you weren't allowed to do the learn the script? Like, is that part of it?
Part
that
of
you
the
had to
thing.
go
It's
on without?
part of the thing.
Yeah.
It's like white rabbit or black rabbit or I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway, look, so I shut
He
it
didn't
down.
do it.
I shut it. I realised what was going to happen on the night and how I was going to be feeling, and I shut it down. Which leads me to this: Have you said no to something categorically because you went, I am unable to do that?
I'm just trying to think. The one thing I probably struggled to do again was there was a heckler competition in Canberra, and so what they say best heckler wins, and they give the hecklers a microphone. And,
Oh, how awful.
yeah, so you got these two people with microphones just abusing you while you're trying to do stand-up on stage. I think, given the opportunity to do that again, I would say no.
You know what? I don't think it's as easy as it sounds, because you come flying out as a heckler with a couple of things, but then continually.
But when you're competing against somebody else and all you do is slinging insults, and finally the heckler's been given a microphone while Luke's trying to perform
And
a
also,
set, that's awful.
When giving someone shit, when you're in the pocket, you know what I mean? When you're in there and you're comfortable, like things just flow out of you.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I'd love that for our show. We should get hecklers.
Yeah, they started going for family members after they ran out of insults. It was a very long 5 minutes.
I bet it was. That sounds so awful.
Now, Luke, having this show on the ABC, Channel 2 as I like to call it, you do stuff regularly on Channel 10. Has anyone tried to lock you down?
I don't think so. That's made me slightly worried that maybe I'm breaching a contract. But no, I think I'm allowed on all of them. I'm not sure. I haven't been asked to do Survivor or anything yet, I don't think I've been on Channel 7 before. Okay, but otherwise, but
I'm
no.
sure they'll get you on My Kitchen Rules or something. Don't worry
Yeah,
about
that sounds like right up your alley.
That'd be the dream. Absolutely.
SAS, what about the SAS show? Luke, is that your style? You talked about going to the gym.
Too easy. Too easy.
Yeah, clearly.
Hey, Luke, what's the best thing you got as a wedding present for your nuptials?
Money, always money.
good
Money was the thing. It was Australian currency.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
She's in the house, everybody.
That's
Our
right.
very favourite human being, Maggie Dent, whose sixth season of Parental as Anything podcast lands this week. Maggie, welcome.
Hi, guys.
Maggie, good morning.
Wow.
Welcome back. It's so good to see you
Oh my
again.
God, I miss you in the face. You know that stuff?
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are the best in the face.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I want to say, look, really, when they asked me to do that, I thought, well, you'll get one series out of it. Hey,
Yeah.
Six.
yeah, and
Look
I won
out.
a big award last
Yep.
year, but the ABC kept it.
Oh, really? What was the award?
I won the best parenting podcast in Australia at the
Oh,
Podcast
Oh,
Awards.
did you really?
And they
Yeah.
kept it.
Yeah, and they kept it in the building.
That's
So
pretty
my
amazing,
granddaughters
Maggie,
are really
because people usually gravitate towards celebrity podcasts.
Yes,
No, but
yes.
seriously, and like,
Celebrities have kids too, you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
But for you to beat them,
And there are celebrities that have parenting podcasts, but
Yeah.
you beat them.
I did. Yeah, so that was kind of, I was a bit chuffed. I thought, that little girl from the bush and wandering.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, that liked the ABC radio. There
Yeah.
she was.
Yeah.
I know.
There were lots of people there that clapped.
Look at
It
her.
was
Yeah.
lovely.
Just
And you know what?
Catching
We've been
rabbits.
doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
The two have, and
Yeah.
me a
Nothing.
bit. Nothing.
We've never won an award.
Not a thing.
Nothing.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Does that surprise you that we've never
Oh,
won an
staggered.
award?
Staggered.
Looks like,
Isn't
yeah,
it just being best all the time an award?
we would know.
Say it with a trophy. Maggie, the hot thing in Perth at the moment is kids going crazy for this energy drink Prime. Now, when kids do get really obsessed with something, we hear stories of kids ducking off from school for 3 hours to go to the supermarket to get a drink. What's your advice to parents who are in the thick of this right now?
Oh, God, that's exactly what that's what we're wired up to do, is to do what my friends and my mates are doing. And as soon as it's a thing, it's a lot like what happened, during the lockdowns, and TikTok dances became the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the latest thing other than vaping. And
So do you just write it out?
yeah, look, honest to God, it's got so much caffeine in it. You're going to have a really wired-up kid. So let's hope that it doesn't taste very good. That's what I'm kind of getting some feedback from.
Well, the
some.
caffeine ones aren't being sold here in Australia, so these are the electrolyte
so these are just
ones.
the
Just sugar.
electrolyte ones. Oh, they're just... Seriously, they'll go through it and it's a phase.
Yes.
Just relax. Just keep making really good quality stuff at home and let's hope Milo wins out, you know.
So so parents who are in the car right now, because this is the time we were talking about yesterday, are driving their kids to Woolies for the shutters to open. Is that okay, or do you just need to go, look, don't worry about it?
You can do either. Whatever energy you have, because they're going to nag the heck out of you. I want to have tasted it. I want to be part of it, because that's everything they're talking about right now. And, you know, if we ride it, it's not going to be lethal.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have driven my boys. I would have made them walk.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I think
what,
you need
though?
to put out a bit of your own energy if you want. And I don't pay them much money, so you got to...
Out of all the kids' wish list, though, to get the whole set for $25,
I know,
it's not too bad,
Pretty
is it?
good, isn't it?
Yeah, but then they're on selling because they're really smart on
they're
eBay.
amazing.
Well, that's
So it's-
entrepreneurial.
Yes.
So
Today's entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't have a really big issue with it because I look at the things that really are going to cause harm.
And that's not up there.
No, it's not up
I
there.
guess the best thing to do is for parents to get really into it, because nothing makes something uncool to kids than their parents really being into it.
So you're wearing your
accurate?
prime T-shirts and your prime hoodie.
Would you recommend that, Maggie?
Oh, shame. It's absolutely fantastic. It's the best way out. And also, you know, like if it's in the fridge at home, God, you've got home and it's gone because I drank it.
Yeah.
The fact it went down the sink, you're not going to know.
Yeah,
I loved it. I drank it. Like, oh, yeah.
I still
It's a
think
good idea.
that we were talking about it yesterday, how he shouldn't even put liquid in the bottle. He should just sell the empty bottle and save heaps of money on manufacturing, because that's all they want is the bottle.
It is.
That's all they want is the
Literally,
bottle.
it's the label, Nathan.
Yes.
They could just manufacture
Just
the labels. Maggie Dent is in the house and she is here to help. Matt from Dayton's called in. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, team. How are we?
Good,
Wonderful, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Now,
What's happening?
what sort of help do you need from Maggie?
So my son is a little bit under 2 years old, so we're starting to enter the terrible twos with tantruming. Something that I've noticed, that my wife and I have noticed, is he will launch his head backwards and forwards into walls and the floor with quite a lot of velocity. And so thankfully he's already proven he's got a bit of a hard head, but we're just a little bit concerned about
His head.
is there a way that we can be sort of combating that and trying
Yes.
to support him not
Other than a helmet.
losing any brain cells?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, Matt, this is a really common thing. And you've got a little boy there, and you know that physicality, they often get so frustrated as toddlers because they don't often have words to describe things, and their big feelings come out through their body movements. So now you've identified this, you've just got to kind of be like a CSI detective and keep tuning into when he looks like he's going to lose his you-know-what, so that you're nearby, because what he's got is this is just now his immediate impulse is to go into throwing backwards, whereas others, you know, run out on a road, others bang their head forwards, others just punch and kick and bite and scratch.
God,
So
how many
this is-
parents are walking around with split lips from
No,
this?
look, seriously, this is a really volatile window, and it's hard for them as well as the parents.
Yeah.
So I just think I'd have an awful lot of cushions around your house.
Oh.
Awful lot of cushions.
Just
Your
soft
house will be
fall.
right, Sean.
But also, you know, be ready for that movement, because, like I said, he will gradually. I would probably encourage him to do a lot more screaming. I know it sounds probably don't want it that, but teach him how to really scream out that big cortisol out of the body. And he will move through that phase, and he'll move into another one, probably kicking. So, yeah, like I said, totally normal, totally impulse. He's not planning it. It's just happening. And that's often what happens with our toddlers. They're just not coping with their world at that point.
Matt, would you rather head butting or kicking?
We get a bit of kicking as well.
Oh,
but
congratulations.
I'm just concerned about the loss of brain cells.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
all.
Yeah, no, you're right. And but they do have. There's another thing about when they're bumping into things, like with their head and their legs and things, they're actually working out where their head finishes, like proprioceptive awareness. So he's going to actually probably not have as many incidents with bumping with his head later, because he's already worked
Oh,
it
that's
out.
good news.
We're
Working
working out where his head
simple
finishes.
bunch.
Yeah, no, it's called proprioceptive awareness.
Yeah,
That's
it
why
is.
they often bruise themselves and fall over. So he's sorting out his head.
His boundaries.
Around his head.
There's your silver lining, Matt.
There's your
What about a
Matt.
sombrero? There you go. And then, because that'll,
Yeah,
that's
a
sort
helmet
of
would
like,
be great, but you can't
it's
get
sort
it
of like
on.
social
What
distancing
about
for his own
a
head.
pool noodle around his head?
Yeah, good luck. 'Cause it happens so spontaneously.
Yeah.
You get the wrong colour cup out and it's done.
Sure, yeah,
right?
that's true.
Thanks, Matt.
Good luck,
Let's
Matt.
go to Ali in Mount Hawthorn. Hi, Ali.
Hey, how you going?
Good, Ali.
Here's Maggie. What's your question?
Hey, Maggie. I've got a 4-year-old boy, and he is really not liking going to kindy at the moment. He's making it really difficult with drop-off. He cries and he screams and he pulls and just makes it really, really hard. I know he's going through a huge emotional development thing. I've read all of your posts. But looking for some advice.
When's his birthday? Is at kindy and he's 4. That means he must be late in the year. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's October.
Righto, yeah. So you do know that, you know, a 4-year-old boy is biologically wired just to run around and be really feral. And not have to sit on mats and, you know, not have to try and listen to people and not shove his mate on the floor and hold his penis, and then he probably got a poo that's due. There's a lot of stress.
This sounds like Shaun coming to work.
Yeah, there's a lot happening for your little 4-year-old, again, that I keep on saying. Sometimes
Shaun, let go of your penis.
They often need a little more time. But in that space, I want you to, the things that make them feel safer, it can often... that connection to the main, educator. Does he like his educator? Does he speak about her or him in a positive way? No.
Sort of. Yeah.
No, it's not.
You would know.
So it's emotional.
One of them, yeah.
So the one that's safest, please have a chat to them and just say, look, it's not going so good. Can you make a bit more of that smile when you see him, high five him, high punch him on the arm, and make a bit more of a connection? Because we know that when relational safety, particularly for boys who don't always have good words and who struggle to cope with all the other rules, if they've got one growing up whose face lights up, it lowers their stress levels so much that they might like it. And the second thing is, does he have a little mate, or do he have a couple of friends? Because the friendship issue, that can make up for the fact that he still struggles to do the things that is required of him. And I've got an audio if he's not good at that too. It's called I'm a Good Friend. So that actually teaches them how to say hello and how to play and how to wait sometimes and not lose it. So, you're absolutely right. He's 4 and it's not his favourite place. He'd prefer to be home.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Oh, I don't think there's a morning we don't see Shaun on the Google putting one thing into the search bar.
We have to spell it out for him, though. He thought there was a W in there, which is weird.
Spelling's not my thing. Let's be
The
honest.
only thing keeping him and Megan together. He can't spell it.
But you know what? Not something that Natalie and I have to face because we don't have relationships.
No, that's right.
Cup
Single
half
and
full, that is.
carefree.
Cup half full.
It's amazing when you don't have to calculate how much you get when you split up.
It's amazing, Shaun.
Yeah,
it
it's
is,
nice,
because all
isn't
my
it?
pile of money stays as my pile of money.
Oh, I always know that half of nothing's nothing, so that's always a win.
Oh, well, how are you going to buy that boat at the end of the year with nothing? It's interesting,
Go to
isn't
the
it?
bank.
Let's get stuck into your finances tomorrow. But today we're going to talk about Reese Witherspoon and her husband of 12 years, Jim Toth, the Toffinator, as some people say.
It was just under, wasn't it, like 3 days shy of their
3 days shy.
anniversary?
She couldn't even make it to the 12 years. She had to break up 3 days.
I guess she was
before.
like, it would be disingenuous to celebrate an anniversary when we're splitting up.
But I think it's a great way of splitting up, like 12 years exact.
Because it marks the
That's
moment.
all.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean?
You don't forget that date.
Yeah. So
You can't remember your wedding anniversary, but you reckon you'd remember that?
he's been co-parenting her 2 children with Ryan Philippines. They've got their own son called Tennessee, who's 12 years old, I think. Anyway. A source, don't know whether it's tomato or barbecue, but has come out and said that the reason for the split is actually because of Jim Toth's changing behaviour. They've said Jim just isn't the guy Reese married and had a son with anymore. His personality, his attitude, and his whole take on life really changed when he got out of the agency, because he used to be a talent agent.
Yes.
Right.
And decided he was tired of that stuffy world and being in the service business in general. Call it a midlife crisis if that's what you want, but that's when the tattoos, the chunky weird jewellery, and the dressing like somebody half his age really took hold.
Wow, this source has a lot to
Dressing
say.
like someone half their age, that doesn't sound like a male thing.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
A
you serious?
man's midlife crisis? Are you joking?
People always say, "Oh, she's dressing." It's the.
You're
tell
saying
you?
the mutton dressed up as lamb concept.
Well, not necessarily. It's always like, an older lady dressing, like a 18-year-old.
No.
Ali, get over here,
I think there
Ali.
are definitely midlife crisis men that dress younger.
Oh, straight out.
Because they're trying to relive their youth.
It's literally what
drag
kept
it
Ed
out.
Hardy afloat for many years. how many
it's true.
foiled skull T-shirts can you buy?
Exactly.
And usually, I mean, the cliches are the diamond earring.
Yes.
Suddenly you get, and the other cliche is the red sports car.
Yes, and the guys that get
That's a
around in
cliche,
leather
yeah.
pants.
Yes, leather pants.
Who does?
You see them, Sean.
Yeah.
It feels like sweaty.
Or another thing is people's hair.
Isn't it, Sean?
You want to. Go on, Natalie.
Well, remember, Sean, when you went through that phase of growing your hair long and...
I wasn't growing my hair, mate. I live with a hairdresser. Getting a haircut of my wife
How
is the
long-
most
but-
unbelievable, painstaking thing in our household ever.
But we did have a word to you. We said, Sean, because I love your hair, you know that. I think you got the most amazing head of hair. But I said to you, you look like Nick Nolte when he was arrested.
Yeah, and that's not good. But, I mean, I know that you do have a hairdresser in your household, but also there are many available barbers.
I'm not paying for a haircut if my wife worked at Morris Mead for 12
So you would
years.
rather look in the mirror and see your long flowing locks than actually...
I think when he looked in the mirror, he saw a young Patrick Swayze from Point Break. And what he should have seen was Nick Nolte being handcuffed.
No way, mate. Can I just want to
Ellie,
say...
We're not saying...
Let's get Ellie. Let's get Ellie.
Ellie, get over here.
Patrick Swayze
You're
or
on the
Nick
radio.
Nolte.
Remember when Sean grew his hair long?
I wasn't growing it. I didn't have a haircut.
Well, that's growing your hair, mate.
Go.
I do remember there was a stage where it was quite,
It was longer.
Can I see Nick Nolte getting arrested? I don't know.
Here we go. We will put it up on social media. We'll find a photo of Sean when he had long hair.
not.
That is exactly was you.
Do that.
That was you.
I am not saying that doesn't look like me at times, but you're not putting a photo up of it.
I think we have
A little
to.
side-by-side who's best.
Ellie, that's like you're in the newsroom with that guy for ages.
It's uncanny.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
We are talking midlife crises inspired by, not Sean, he's a great example, but not
Thank
Sean.
you, I'm not a great example.
Reese Witherspoon and her husband Jim Toth. Apparently, some of the issues, according to a source, that caused them to divorce was the fact that he was going through a midlife crisis, getting tattoos, wearing chunky gold jewellery.
Weird jewellery.
Yeah.
It's not too good, is it? Let's go to Colin in Cloverdale. Hello, Colin.
Hello, guys. How you going?
Good, Colin.
How you
Who
going,
is having the midlife crisis, Colin?
No, I'm not, but there are severe accusations out there.
Okay, let's hear it, Colin. Let's hear it.
Go,
Yeah,
Cole.
denial. No, we had to buy a second car. We were a one-car family. I'm 52 and my wife's 34.
Yep.
So her choice was, prominent in what we were going to do for the car. So we bought a Mini Cooper S 2005 convertible,
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
And occasionally my wife uses my car for things like picking up groceries and everything like that. But every time I have to drive her car to work, my workmates are all looking at me like I'm having a midlife crisis.
So
that.
Let's dissect this. A midlife crisis, so a man in a Mini Cooper. Do you think that translates to a midlife
Well, it's a
crisis?
convertible.
It's convertible.
Oh, it's a convertible.
Maybe that's it. It's the convertible
Yes.
part that gets
It's
everybody.
the roof off.
Look, the gold necklace and the blonde hair don't help.
Great self-awareness.
And they're always
Colin.
talking about the TikTok.
Good work, Colin. Thank
Thanks,
you. Tracy's in Clarkson. Hello.
Oh, good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, Trace.
Trace.
Can you relate to Reese Witherspoon? Can you, Trace?
Well, it was my ex-husband had a midlife crisis. At the age of 40, the house wasn't good enough, so we got a bigger, better house.
Yeah.
Car wasn't good enough, got a bigger car, better car. That still wasn't good enough. We went on an overseas European vacation, wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Come home from overseas and he went, hang on a minute, you're the one that's not good enough, I don't love you anymore.
Oh.
Wish you would have got there sooner because he spent a fortune in all the other stuff.
But then
there,
again,
Trace. You could have got more money.
At least you got a nice holiday beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay, there's
Did
a
you
positive.
get so once everything was divvied up, did you come out all right on top?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
But money's not everything.
No,
No,
that's
that's
true.
true.
No, it
That's
isn't
true. Trace,
everything.
did he trade you in for a younger model or anything like that?
Just slightly, yeah.
Oh, was it a convertible?
Yeah, top off for sure, Sean.
Sean.
The top was off.
Yeah, knew it.
Thanks, Tracy. John's in Pearsall. Hello.
How you going?
Hey,
Good, John.
John, are you going through a midlife crisis, do you think?
No, not John.
Yeah, I'm going through a painful midlife crisis.
Oh, tell us, John.
Talk us through it.
Uh,
I've got a hairy chest and a hairy back. And I started shaving just a little bit, and then eventually I did the whole front, got my kids to shave the back.
Got your kids to shave the back?
Yeah.
With the whippersnapper.
No, those kids have stories to tell about the day they had to sit down and shave down Dad.
I told them not to say nothing when they go to school.
Of course.
Yeah.
Silent.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I started the shaving. Then that was really itchy, and I thought, what's a better way to do it so I don't have to shave all the time? Then I went waxing. I went once to waxing.
Yeah.
That was pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then everyone's like, oh, you got to go laser. Laser's the best way.
Yes.
I went, oh, okay. So I went in. I paid for a year for laser because it's $100 a month.
That's like putting a down payment on the Death Star.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I thought it was just one treatment and that's it.
No.
So I go in there and my God, it's like cooking eggs on the back. It was killing.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
so I still got another 8. I got another 8 visits.
Oh,
and I cry. I cry on the way there and I cry on the way back.
Well, you're living a young man's game right now, John.
It's like I've had IPL on my face for skin rejuvenation, and it feels like you're being stuck. Like imagine somebody getting a lucky band and pulling it back and snapping it against you repeatedly, and obviously your back and your front is a much bigger surface area.
Well, I've started gym. So when I go to the gym outside and run with the guys, they're all running with big tattoos and muscles and everything, and I'm running with like a massive red mark on my back and front. And it's beautiful running because the wind cools the back down. I'm just smiling as I'm running. They're smiling because they look good. I'm smiling because I'm in happy pain.
Hey, John, can I know what age are you at? That you're.
I'm 43, and I look like Godzilla, gorillas from the waist down.
So, John, in the short time that you've been doing it, has it been worth it? Do you think? Do you feel better when the pain goes?
I want my hair back.
Your hair back. John, do you have
it's warm in the winter.
Do you have a partner in your life?
I do have a partner.
What is she saying about the transformation?
She just avoids me at all costs.
How long you been together for, John?
15 years.
Yeah, I think
she
it started about 10.
She married the hairy guy. Do you know what I mean?
The hairy guy. Oh, he's still hairy from the waist down, apparently. You can imagine those centaurs that are like man on the top and a goat down the bottom.
Legs.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.